Hello, everybody. I'm Ed Robinson, and welcome to another exciting edition of Striving for It All. This is the program that gets you caught up on anything and everything happening around the WNBA. Coming up on this edition of the program, we'll recap the 2024 WNBA All-Star Weekend. Also, we have your current league leaders and standings for the first half of the 2024 WNBA regular season, and so much more, including the brand new WNBA media rights deal. All of that is coming up on the program. I want to start off talking about this year's 2024 WNBA All-Star Game with my top three storylines. So the 2024 WNBA All-Star Weekend has come and gone, and this was indeed one for the record books. The 2024 WNBA All-Star Game drew 3.4 million viewers on ABC, breaking the previous record, which was held by the 2003 WNBA All-Star Game, which was held at Madison Square Garden in New York City. That game had a 1.4 million viewers. But hey, this year's game drew a record 3.4 million viewers on ABC. And let's face it, the WNBA is growing, and it's continuing to shatter viewership records, ratings records, and attendance records. I mean, look, let's just call it for what it is, right? CaitlinClark, AngelReese, the class of 2024 have really skyrocketed this thing, have set it off and continue to set it off in many different ways. Caitlin, Angel, also Cameron Brink, Camila Cardoso, the rest of the draft class of 2024, they have set this thing off. And I mean, this WNBA season is the most important and the most pivotal one thus far, because as I stated earlier, ratings, viewership, attendance, revenue have skyrocketed, and they're going to continue to skyrocket with the new media rights deal that just passed, which I'll discuss in a little bit. But man, the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game was one for the record books. And again, this was different this year. This year is an Olympic year, so we had an intriguing one with Team WNBA going up against Team USA. ArikeOgunbowale wound up becoming this year's All-Star Game MVP, left off the Olympic team again, which I'll get more into in just a little bit. AllishaGray was the star of the All-Star festivities on Friday night. We'll get to her in just a little bit, but the bottom line is this. This was not just in an intriguing All-Star Game, but in an intriguing All-Star weekend with everything that was surrounding it, right? CaitlinClark and AngelReese being on the same team. Team WNBA versus Team USA. Some players were not selected to Team USA. How would some of those players on Team WNBA fare out? There were so many different storylines, and this was not just in an exciting All-Star game. This was in an exciting All-Star weekend. And as I stated earlier, the proof is in the pudding, and the proof is also in the numbers. This year's WNBA All-Star Game drew 3.4 million viewers on ABC, breaking the previous record, which was set in 2003 with the WNBA All-Star Game with 1.4 million. So certainly it was a fun weekend had by all, and certainly everybody took it in, including the fans. And of course, being in a great city like Phoenix out in the desert, certainly people took in, yeah, it was hot, the desert heat, but nevertheless, Phoenix, if you know the Phoenix area, Phoenix for hosting major sporting events such as the big one involving the Lombardi Trophy with the NFL, the Super Bowl, and so on and so forth. And they've hosted their big events as well. I believe a couple of seasons ago, they held a Major League Baseball All-Star Game at Chase Field in downtown Phoenix. So, but hey, the WNBA, they set records. They've been setting records so far this year, and they set another one with this year's All-Star Game. My next storyline is going to be AllishaGray. If you're new to the WNBA and if you're new to women's basketball, AllishaGray caught the eyes and captured the hearts and minds of people that had never tuned into the WNBA or had never tuned in to women's basketball. If you don't know Allisha's pedigree, listen, here are the stats. Allisha played 5 seasons for the Dallas Wings, and this is currently her second year with the Atlanta Dream. Allisha, currently a 2-time WNBA All-Star. She was also a 2017 WNBA Rookie of the Year as a member of the Dallas Wings. Not to mention, she won an NCAA championship at the University of South Carolina with AjaWilson, and she was coached by Dawn Staley. And not to mention, Gray wound up capturing a gold medal at the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo in the inaugural 3x3 team competition. This was the first time ever that 3x3 had been featured as an Olympic sport, and AllishaGray was on that team along with Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young and Stephanie Dolson. And certainly Allisha was one of the stars on, well, actually all of them were stars, and Allisha made a big contribution on that 3x3 team in the last Olympics in Tokyo. AllishaGray, she stole the show in this year's WNBA All-Star Weekend. We'll get into the highlights and all of that in just a moment, but AllishaGray, she made history. Allisha became the first player in WNBA history to win 2 events at a single All-Star weekend. She won both the Starry 3-point contest and the Skills Challenge. And certainly, Allisha put on a show for the ages in the Skills Challenge. I'll get into the competitors and all of that in just a moment. But for people that were not familiar with Allisha, hey, she introduced herself in more ways than one, winning not 1 but 2 events at the Skills Challenge on Friday night, winning the 3-point contest and the Skills Challenge. And I'll get into all the explanation behind the events in just a little bit, but Allisha has been dazzling for such a long time. She's been dazzling crowds in college. When she was at South Carolina, she dazzled in the early part of her WNBA career with the Dallas Wings, and she's currently doing it with the Atlanta Dream. So AllishaGray, she set it off. She set it off in more ways than one on Friday night during the All-Star skills competition with the 3-point shootout, with the 3-point contest and the Skills Challenge. So if you didn't get a chance to watch Allisha all season long, or when she first came into the WNBA and you watched on Friday, you definitely we got a treat. We all were treated to something special, and we'll get into the recap and the highlights of the All-Star Weekend in just a little bit. But AllishaGray, definitely a talent, so underrated, and now she is on the big stage for sure. My next storyline is going to be ArikeOgunbowale. I've always said since Arike has entered the WNBA, she is a walking buzzer beater. Again, for those that may have not been familiar with WNBA or women's basketball, and they got a chance to watch this year's WNBA All-Star Game, you got a treat in watching ArikeOgunbowale just making 3-pointers on top of 3-pointers on top of 3-pointers on top of 3-pointers, and then some. Arike was just sensational. And I mentioned earlier about AllishaGray walked into the hearts, captured the hearts and minds of basketball fans worldwide. Well, ArikeOgunbowale, she did the same thing too. Arike came in, listen, for those of you that may have are just tuning in or just checking in with the WNBA, Arike was named the WNBA All-Star MVP in 2021. And now she earned the All-Star Game MVP for this year in 2024. Remember, the year of 2021, she was not selected to be on the United States Women's Olympic basketball team. She was left off the team. Guess what? Arike did damage in 2021, winning All-Star MVP. Let's fast forward to 2024. Again, not selected to be on the Olympic team. And also, too, as she said, because of politics, she withdrew her name from consideration. So That being said, what she did in 2021, she had a repeat performance in 2024, once again becoming All-Star MVP. Now, the Dallas Wings have had a horrible year this year. Well, I'd say they haven't had a great year the first half of the year. However, the Dallas Wings, listen, when ArikeOgunbowale is on the court, it's just must-see TV. It was must-see TV when she played at Notre Dame, and it's currently been must-see TV since she's been with the Dallas Wings and been in the WNBA. So Arike, she dazzled, she shined bright, she did a lot of stuff. She did so much. She handled her business in the WNBA All-Star Game. She's been doing it as a great player, and again, 2021, left off the Olympic team, handled her business. 2024, left off the team, guess what? Handling her business, and for the second time in her career, becoming WNBA All-Star MVP. So again, that takes care of my top three storylines. The WNBA All-Star Weekend, also discussing AllishaGray, and also discussing ArikeOgunbowale. All right, before we get into the highlights of the games that had taken place before the All-Star break, and then just let you know what's going on with the Olympics, monumental deal happened for the WNBA. They inked a media rights deal. You know, as I stated earlier, the entrance and attendance continues to grow for the WNBA. So the WNBA has agreed on a new media rights deal with Disney, Amazon Prime, a new media rights deal with Disney, Amazon Prime Video, and NBC Universal. So starting in the 2026 season, Disney will air games on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, and the company's forthcoming streaming service. So I'm assuming that ESPN is going to have a brand new streaming service that will also be alongside with ESPN Plus. There's no name for it as of this time, but again, starting in the 2026 season, Disney will air games on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, and the company's forthcoming streaming service. As for NBC Universal, they will air games on NBC, USA Network, and Peacock. Peacock is NBC's digital streaming platform. And as for Amazon Prime, they will continue to put their games through Prime Video. So again, starting in 2026, Disney will air their games on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, and a new streaming service that's going to be coming. NBC Universal will air their games on the NBC Network, USA Network, and Peacock, which is NBC's streaming service. And of course, Amazon will air their games through Amazon Prime Video. And this is a record deal right here. Again, the deal is for 11 years, and the deal is worth $2.2 billion. So also some more information I want to pass along to you. The league's broadcast partners will carry more than 125 regular season and playoff games nationally each year. Now, Disney, on the Disney platforms, which is ESPN, ESPN2, ABC, and so forth, they will carry a minimum of 25 games. NBC Universal platforms will get 50 games, and 30 regular season games will be on Prime Video. Now Disney and NBC Universal will distribute their games to select international markets, while Prime Video will have global rights, which means they'll bring those games to 200 million Prime members worldwide. Now, you're probably asking in terms of Commissioner's Cup and the playoffs and things of that nature with the new deal. Well, here it is. As far as the playoffs are concerned, the deal will give the Disney platforms 2 first-round playoff series, while Prime Video and NBC Universal will get 1 first-round matchup. The semifinals and the finals will rotate throughout the 11-year deal. The Disney platforms will get 8 semifinals and 5 finals, while Prime Video and NBC Universal will each get 7 semifinals, and 3 finals. Now, the WNBA All-Star events and the WNBA draft will be carried by the Disney platforms, which includes ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, so on and so forth. So the WNBA draft and the All-Star events will remain on the Disney platforms, while Amazon Prime Video will remain the home for the Commissioner's Cup championship game. And also, just some more information to pass along to you, the WNBA currently already has deals with the CBS network and ION. However, once those deals are over with those two networks, they plan to include them in the new media rights deal. So the league also said that they do plan to add more media partners to continue to expand its reach, which will include CBS and ION. And then also, too, remember, there's also a stipulation. So the first 3 years are mandatory. By year 4, they can renegotiate the deal. So it looks as though what I mentioned earlier about expanding and adding more media partners to the deal, that could be the situation with CBS and ION. So who knows? And this comes really at a perfect time because, again, the WNBA is continuing to grow in attendance and viewership, and merchandise and money is finally coming in. They're trying to prove they could be sustainable. And also, too, with the 2 expansion teams coming, one in 2025 with San Francisco, and then in 2026 with Toronto. So that's big news for the WNBA as they continue to move forward and try to make themselves a respectable and a sustainable business model. So I mentioned earlier about the WNBA media rights deal. The commissioner, CathyEngelbert, had a lot to say about the media rights deal at the press conference during this year's All-Star Weekend. Also, she talked about expansion draft. Also, she talked about continuing to increase the globalization of the game. Also, talking about revisiting the collective bargaining agreement. Also talked about revisiting the collective bargaining agreement, amongst other things. Here's Cathy at the press conference.
We are thrilled with the progress we've made in the growth of this league and current viewership. I think we're going to do something historic. I think once we're able to finalize those media deals, I think everybody is going to understand that this is a historic time for women's sports, and the WNBA will be leading that. We've been preparing for this for several years. I've shared with you, we did a lot of work leading up to this on what media partners were looking for, what we needed to do 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year to get our eyes on our game and fans in our seats in order to have the narrative around being a historic league at this time. So making the sport grow everywhere is part of our mission, I believe, obviously in partnership with USA Basketball and with FIBA, our international federation, and obviously working together to grow this game because, again, we know that young women, teenagers, females drop out of organized youth sport at alarming rates compared to their male counterparts. So we need girls to stay in sport. I know what it did for me, having played 3 sports in high school, 2 in college. I was really shy when I went to college. Sports brought me out of that shell, gave me confidence, leadership skills, resilience, captained 2 teams in college, lacrosse and basketball. So we know how important it is for us to grow the game globally. And that's why globalization, if you think about media deals, if you think about expansion, you think about other things we have on our agenda, globalization of the game is it, and working with FIBA and other federations to make sure that we're providing that. I also we work with the State Department from time to time on their sports, and embassies around the world are looking for female role models, professional athletes, and the WNBA is very primed to be someone to talk about their path to their success with and really inspire young girls around the world. So the Golden State Valkyries, who announced their brand a couple months ago, love it. They are doing great with, and I think they've talked about their season ticket holder deposit base. They've obviously hired people. As I always say, to grow a business, you have to hire great human capital, great people. So they've hired a GM, they've hired a team president and others. So they're filling out their team. And then obviously later this year, we'll have an expansion draft where they'll draft players, and then they'll participate in the college draft next year. So, I mean, they're gearing up from a business perspective and a basketball perspective. So I'll let them speak for exactly, everything they're doing behind the scenes. But I know some of their leadership is here at All-Star, and I know they're really excited to join this league, as you say, at a high momentum time. And I just think having a team in the Bay Area with that fan base, I think it's going to be great for the league. Yeah, so we've been working on transforming the business from every aspect of the business, whether it's digital, whether it's reach, whether it's fan engagement, whether it's data, whether it's hiring people who know data capabilities. So I think there's so many positives. We're hitting the confluence of so many positive elements of this league right now, with generational rookies coming into the league, with these decorated veterans, with everything that's happening and globalizing the game, and fan engagement, making it easier to be a fan, all the things we've been working on over the past couple of years. And in order to capitalize on that momentum, I think we know that one way to do that is to drive revenue through media rights, which funds a lot of things on the men's side. So that's why this is an important moment for us, and a historic one. Really excited about that. I can't be more pleased with the moment we're faced with. And it's not just this class of rookies. Look what we're seeing next year and the year after and the year after. I mean, from what we can see in college, 3 years of great draft classes coming in. And then after that, someone was telling me the other day, the U17 girls are amazing. So I just feel so blessed to be in women's basketball, blessed to have the fans and the new fans we brought in, who are all really passionate and avid about helping us grow this league as well. So great question. So as far as the number of games we play under our current collective bargaining agreement, we can play up to 44 games. So we're looking at the footprint for next year. One of the reasons we're looking at that footprint so hard is we don't have an international competition like the FIBA World Cup or the Olympics next year. So we'll be able to look at our footprint without any interruption or break like we're breaking this year. And obviously in a FIBA World Cup, we generally accommodate that to help grow the game globally. So yeah, we're certainly looking at playing the max games up to 44, also looking at playoffs and what we can do with our playoffs. So we'll be back to you on some of the decisions around that we're working through with our teams and our owners. And your second question was related to overseas games. So yeah, I hugely admire what the NBA has done with their global games platform, and we started ours after the pandemic with Toronto, and then last year in Edmonton. We'd love to expand that further, whether that's to Europe or Asia longer term, or, some people mention Mexico City, Middle East, things like that. Africa longer term as well. So we're looking at all of that, looking at, it's a allocation of capital, a deployment of capital around, where you would go. Do you do neutral sites in the U.S. to test out expansion markets? That's another option, to do either preseason games or regular season games. So we're looking at all of that right now as it relates to the 2025 footprint, where we should have a pretty good schedule. Yeah, I've been so pleased with Caitlin and all of our rookies. I mean, if you look back in history, a lot of our rookies, don't immediately start. Takes them either a year, a couple years, or certainly they don't all start off the bat. And so many of this rookie class, they're so strong and they're performing at the highest level. And you guys are all writing about it, which we love. So yeah, really pleased with how that's working out. And again, the number of new fans we're able to bring into this league is exponential from my expectations of what we were going to do and provide them. I mean, as we look at on all four of our top networks, we're averaging over 1 million, including ESPN, ESPN2, ABC, CBS. On ION, we've had several over $1 million games on Friday nights. And even on, even on the non-$1 million, we're pulling in huge triple-digit increases with that appointment viewing. So I think fans are finally knowing where to find us. And I think this rookie class has brought a lot of attention, is lifting all of our games and all of our players. Yeah, it's a really great question. For those that didn't follow us way back in 96 was the first year of this stretch of 7 consecutive golds, now going for 8, where the WNBA was born out of that gold medal in Atlanta. And that team was so iconic. It was the dream team at the time, although women, we don't necessarily get all that great branding. And so really put, as you said, women's basketball on the map here in the United States, leading again to this moment that we're experiencing now. And I think the 24 team absolutely has the opportunity. And I think it's all the teams, the quality of the play of the product on the court. And everyone I know, all these new fans coming in, are so blown away when they go to a game. The pace, the strength, the physicality, the athleticism, the just everything. The game, many tell me this is the game that I played growing up. And I always reply, yeah, I played the game too, but it's so much better than the game when I was growing up. So I do think this team has the ability to become global stars, because that's part of our strategy. And also, I think we're now at 18-19% international players in the WNBA. So we're growing our ranks with global players as well, not just United States players. So I think while the 24 USA women's team has that opportunity, whether it's Australia or Canada or Germany and some of these other teams that are going to compete for this gold, and the competition, I mean, the U.S. has lifted everybody around the world, just like a few college programs here in the U.S. lifted so many other college programs, culminating in the last couple of years of great competition. So yes, I think we do have that opportunity, just not with just this team, but all the WNBA players populated throughout the Olympics this year. Charter is really important with the footprint we had this year. You saw how many games our players were playing the first part of this season. And so this was the year. I've always told you, I always wanted charter for these players. We weren't going to do it till we felt it was fiscally sound to do so. I felt we were at a point in our growth and our transformation that we could afford this for the next couple of years, even before a new media rights set of deals would kick in. So that's why we did it, and I'm thrilled that we did it. So, the charter program is, again, every game we're going to see when we come back from the Olympic break that continue into the playoffs. And so obviously we did not amend the collective bargaining. We just did it as a benefit to the players, to pay back to the players some of the growth we're experiencing and the ability now to afford to do something like that. We weren't in a position, certainly coming off the pandemic, where we were just barely surviving. I felt we were in a thriving position now, and we had the financial wherewithal to do it. And so that's why we did it, and we didn't need to amend anything. It was just an extra benefit we gave the players. So let's come to your second question on the next round of collective bargaining agreements. So our collective bargaining agreement was an 8-year deal, opt out after 6. That 6th year is the end of next season. So obviously we look forward to working with the players, having done the charter travel, working with the players on what's on their list, obviously working with our owners who we negotiate on behalf of and with as to what's on their list. So we really look forward to capitalizing on the momentum in this league and looking at how we return more to the players in that process. So that's what we'll be doing over the next year or so. When you do charter, when you only have our travel size, you don't necessarily do planes that fit 180 people when your travel size is, in the low 20s. So, yes, some of the planes are small. I fly on a lot of small planes to a lot of markets where I don't get big planes, commercially even. So obviously it's something that we work on, particularly for cross country flights. It's really logistically complex. I've learned a lot about private jet travel, where the logistics are, how the pilots are in a pool. There's a pilot shortage. Obviously, there's aviation fuel logistics, maintenance logistics, and everything like that. Different airports don't allow you to fly out of privately when they may commercially, so they may be used to an airport that they're now not flying into. So all of that, just to say it's logistically complex. We continue to work on upgrading the experience for our players on that. And I think when we come off the Olympic break, we're hitting our stride more on this program. We'll see some improvements on the things that we listen to the players, and we'll see some improvements off the Olympic break. One of the things we're seeing in our fan data is a huge influx of Hispanic fans. And I think that's great. And maybe, some of our players now who have that heritage are drawing more interest. They're getting more reported in Spanish language and things like that. So that's something we definitely have on our list to work on, and make sure that we're bringing the game to our fans culturally, wherever they are, and certainly in the Spanish language. So yes, that's on our list to work further on. So thank you for bringing that up, because I've seen the data now, and I think, it's definitely worth investing there.
All right, that audio courtesy of the WNBA. So you heard Commissioner CathyEngelbert just talk about the continued globalization of the game, mentioning the expansion draft, and particularly with the 2 teams that will be entering the league in 2025 with the San Francisco team, also in 2026 with Toronto, and just the media rights deal, and amongst other things, that it seems that the WNBA is finally getting in the right direction, and certainly it's taking those next steps where it could be sufficient and a sustainable business model. All right, now it's time for a recap of the week that was in the WNBA, including the last 2 days of the regular season before the All-Star break. Now let's get right to it. So let's start off with action from Tuesday, July the 16th. We had the Phoenix Mercury beat the Washington Mystics 96-87. The New York Liberty took care of the Connecticut Sun 82-74. The Chicago Sky beat the Las Vegas Aces 93-85. And we had the Seattle Storm beat the Los Angeles Sparks 89-83. This game was very significant because it was all about two people. Number one, the Gold Mamba, Jewel Lloyd, and also NnekaOguwumike. Yeah, Nneka continued to do big things. I mean, she's had a legendary career and still being legendary. Man, what a first half of the year that the Seattle Storm has had. I really believe that Noelle Quinn should get strong consideration for this year's head coach of the year honors. What she's done, not only in the post-Sue Bird era with Seattle, with Jewel Lloyd, but also NnekaOguwumike has been balling. Also, Ezzie Magbagor, Jordan Horston, and of course, Skylar Diggins-Smith, right? I mean, hey, what can you say about Skylar, right? So anyway, Seattle beat Los Angeles 89-83. Jewel Lloyd scored 30 points, and NnekaOguwumike had a double-double in this game as well, and she also made a big contribution, continuing to make history. Here's Jewel and Nneka in action.
Here's a straightaway three from Whitcomb. That won't go. NnekaOguwumike offensive rebound, and she gets her first bucket. Lloyd spins into trouble, somehow gets out of it. Lloyd answers with the three. Here's Jackson. Nearly another theft there. Jackson has to go back to retrieve it. Pocket picked again by Nneka. Wow, what a play by the vet. Nneka. Spin move, fall away. Vintage Ogwumike there. Rebound Ogwumike. Here's the outlet pass to Jewel Lloyd. Lloyd getting downhill. Lloyd all the way to the cup. Shanna defense by the kids. Deep position there by Ogwumike. Turnaround jumper over Stevens is good. Diggins-Smith. Magbagor. Over to Lloyd. Space from the slot. Jewel Lloyd. Lloyd, catch and shoot three, and that one is good. 7 on the shot clock. Diggins-Smith around Stevens, through the lane, left hand no. Skying in for the board there is Ogwumike on her wallet. Able to watch that one fall through. Nneka high-low. Beautiful catch. Nice feed.
Just perfection.
But not for long. Jewel Lloyd. Lloyd going baseline, able to draw the foul and get it in off the window. Jewel Lloyd over to Jackson, back out Burrell, looking down low, ball deflected, stolen by Seattle. Lloyd looking for Ogwumike, what a feed. Diggins-Smith from the elbow, rolls off, rebound Ogwumike, goes right back up with it. Ogwumike, right by Stevens into the basket. And for NnekaOguwumike, that's 6,264 points, passing the great Lisa Leslie for 12th all time.
All right, so that audio was courtesy of League Pass, and Jewel Lloyd finished with 30 points. And NnekaOguwumike had a double-double with 23 points and 10 rebounds. And what was significant about this game for Nneka is that she is now currently 12th all-time on the WNBA scoring list. So there's been a lot of greats that have come before her, and it's amazing that Nneka is still doing it. And she was left off of the Olympic team, which we'll get into all of that just a little bit with the recap of the All-Star game. But nevertheless, again, Jewel Lloyd finished with 30 points. NnekaOguwumike had a double-double with 23 points and 10 rebounds, becoming 12th all-time currently on the WNBA scoring list. Also, Jordan Horston finished with 14 points. On the losing end for the Sparks, AjaWilson Stevens finished with 24 points. Rickea Jackson finished with 16 points. We had Ray Burrell finish with 18 points, and Dearica Hamby finished with 15 points. Once again, the final score, Seattle 89, Los Angeles 83. And then we had action from Wednesday, June the 17th. We had the Minnesota Lynx beat the Atlanta Dream 86-79. And we had the Dallas Wings beat the Indiana Fever. Final score 101-93. And then that set the stage for our All-Star Weekend, the 2024 WNBA All-Star Weekend. And certainly it was one for the ages. This one was significant for all of the right reasons. Of course, we know about the hype, CaitlinClark, AngelReese being on the same team. But man, everybody shined bright in this year's All-Star Weekend. But let's start off with Friday night. And certainly we had the 2024 WNBA Kia Skills Challenge. And certainly this was one for the ages. As I mentioned earlier, AllishaGray from the Atlanta Dream was in this competition. Also, Sophie Cunningham from the Phoenix Mercury, repping for the hometown Phoenix Mercury, the hometown team. Everybody was showing up and showing out, rooting on Sophie. Also, they were rooting for her teammate, Brittany Griner from the Phoenix Mercury. Also, Marina Mabry of her new team, the Connecticut Sun, as the Chicago Sky recently traded her to the Connecticut Sun right before the All-Star break. So we had AllishaGray from the Atlanta Dream, Sophie Cunningham and Brittany Griner from the Phoenix Mercury, Marina Mabry from the Connecticut Sun, and Kelsey Mitchell from the Indiana Fever. Of course, Kelsey was replacing her teammate Erica Wheeler. Erica was supposed to be in the contest but was unable to travel due to some recent changes with the global computer outages delaying her travel. So Kelsey Mitchell took her place, and Allisha and Sophie were successful in the first round as they had the two lowest scores, and they would advance to the final round. So now in the final round, it was one for the ages between Allisha and Sophie. First, here's Sophie in action in the Skills Challenge.
First up in the final round of the Kia WNBA Skill Challenge, from the Phoenix Mercury, make some noise for Sophie Cunningham, DJ.
All right, here you go. 3 straight bounce passes that need to go through. They all do for Cunningham. How about this pass? Yeah, the skills are there. The 3. In and out. The second one's off. We'll take the third, make her miss. She moves on. Missed them all to the elbow. Oh, I think Sophie was upset with herself.
Here we go.
Avoids Darth Sidious. Can't hit the corner 3. Does hit the second one. We know how fast AllishaGray went with a 31.2 time on her first, as Cunningham chimes in at 34.5 seconds.
And that's time for Sophie Cunningham, 34.5 seconds. Setting the mark. Fans, make some noise for Sophie Cunningham.
All right, that audio was courtesy of the WNBA, the Walt Disney Company, and ESPN. So Sophie's time in the final round was 34.5 seconds. Allisha put on a show in this year's All-Star Weekend. She was sensational. Here's Allisha with her final round performance.
And now from the Atlanta Dream, make some noise for AllishaGray, DJ.
I love that she needs the protective eyewear.
Yes.
For the skills competition.
I agree. But, I mean, she is ridiculously fast at this. It's unbelievable how quickly she gets through all those passes.
To keep the wind out of her eyes.
Misses all the 3s. Hits the elbow jumper.
Who we got?
Avoids Lord Vader. Airmails the first. Has to take all 3. This is going to be
This
tight.
has to go through.
AllishaGray gets it through. AllishaGray is your champion. With 2.4 to spare, AllishaGray, your 2024 Kia Skills Challenge champion.
32.1 seconds.
All right, again, that audio courtesy of the WNBA, the Walt Disney Company, and ESPN. So Allisha finished with a time of 32.1 seconds, which made AllishaGray the winner of the 2024 WNBA Kia Skills Challenge. So Allisha, knowing coming in that she was going to be entering 2 contests, not only being in the Skills Challenge, but also being in the 3-point contest. However, Allisha was excited about the victory, and she, in the interview, she was also asked about the 3-point contest. Here's Allisha at the end of the challenge.
Well, I knew in the first round I had to at least, match the time. And I seen what time Sophie had, so I need to go even faster. I started so fast, so it gave me like a little pattern on the end. It was all part of the strategy because I knew the second time around I was going to be a little fatigued from the shots, so I had to make my passes accurate. It's amazing. The W fans are amazing. We wouldn't be the players we are without them, especially with the home court advantage and stuff. So thank you, fans. It's a possibility.
All right, that audio was courtesy of the WNBA, the Walt Disney Company, and ESPN. So AllishaGray, the winner of the 2024 WNBA Kia Skills Challenge. But she was not done yet. She had another contest to attend to. That was the 3-point contest presented by Starry. The defending champion, Sabrina Ionescu, decided not to participate in this year's contest. And CaitlinClark of the Indiana Fever, she decided to decline as well. So we had AllishaGray from the Atlanta Dream, Jonquel Jones from the New York Liberty, Kayla McBride from the Minnesota Lynx, Stephanie Dolson from the Washington Mystics, and we had Marina Mabry from the Connecticut Sun. Allisha and Jonquel, they had the 2 highest scores in the first round, and they would move on to the final round of the 3-point contest. So AllishaGray, the winner of the Skills Challenge, did she have enough energy to muster up another victory? This time in the 3-point contest, did she have it? Here's Allisha in action.
From the Atlanta Dream, make some noise for AllishaGray. DJ.
All right, AllishaGray. Sticking with that same money ball rack, which will be on that right wing. Gray hits that final money ball. A good start for her. 4 in the opening. Now the money ball rack. Gray, just missed that one. Has rattled in 3 of 5 on the money ball. How about Starry range? Can't quite hit. 10 so far for Gray. Has to be tired after everything she's competed in tonight. And 1 thus far. Gray connects. Starry range. No. Gray good on time as of now. Gray, a big money ball here is good. Gray finding her stroke here late. 18 thus far. Trying to get over that 20 she has. Final money ball. She connects on. AllishaGray with a very strong 22.
All right, that audio was courtesy of the WNBA, the Walt Disney Company, and ESPN. You talk about one of the skilled shooters in the league and somebody that could cause matchup problems. Jonquel Jones from the New York Liberty is just one of them. Here she is in the final round of the 3-point contest.
Make some noise from the New York Liberty. It's Jonquel Jones. DJ.
Well, at one point, Jonquel hit 12 of 14 in that first round. We know the number to beat is 22 for Jonquel Jones, trying to do it for the Pigs. It's the money ball. Here's the money rack. Jonquel short on the first. Trying to take advantage of that money rack on the back end. 2 in a row. Make it 3. How about Starry range? No. 9 so far for JJ. The straight on 3. CP talked about it. That's the one that the big usually finds most often. And Jones taking advantage of it. Starry range? Not quite. 14. Drama here on the final 2 racks. Needs 22 to tie. Jones. Big shots here. The money ball. She has it. Final rack. Jonquel Jones down just 3. Make it 2. Jonquel for the win. No! She falls 1 short, and AllishaGray makes history.
All right, so that audio was courtesy of the WNBA, the Walt Disney Company, and ESPN. So AllishaGray becomes the winner of the WNBA Starry 3-point contest. And as I stated earlier in the program, this is the first time in WNBA history that a player has won 2 contests at an All-Star weekend, the 3-point contest and the Skills Challenge. And AllishaGray made history. Here's Allisha at the end.
It's very cool. I'm glad I accepted the call when they asked me to participate in both of them. Now I get another $55K in my pocket, so I was happy about that. Yeah, I felt like I was warmed up because the skills challenge, I was running all over the court, so I was able to warm my legs and stuff. I was a little fatigued a little bit from the skills challenge, but I was able to lock in because I knew another $55K was on the line. Yeah, with 110K, yeah, I definitely can invest my money, so I'm definitely excited about what I can do with that. You know, I got them. They're on me. You know, I got them. They just got to let me know early so I can prepare my mind because I'm still a very cheap person. But, you know, for my team, yeah, they got to plan it. I'll just pay the bill. It's very cool. I mean, the viewership is definitely up in the W, and it was amazing to see how many people were here for all the Skills Challenge 3-point, even the 3x3 exhibition game as well. I mean, it's very cool. Like, that made me very happy. I was nervous because she went on a shooting streak of makes, and I mean, JJ is a great 3-point shooter. I even told her before, I was like, I'm familiar with your shooting game. Like, I know you're finna go out there and kill it. But when she got to that last one and the score was kind of close and she missed it, it was like a sigh of relief because she's a great shooter. Just stay true to yourself. Continue to follow your dreams. Don't let nobody steer you off the path of following your dreams because, I mean, you're in control of your destiny. I mean, you're going to have haters and doubters, but you got to believe in yourself. Yeah, I mean, I really just lock in for real. When I know, like, something's on the line, I mean, you got to lock in. I mean, but that's just the type of person I am. Like, I take competition very serious. Like, I'm a very competitive person. I want to win in everything. I'm just going to enjoy this moment right now. That's my biggest thing. I'm just going to live in the moment right now. Oh, it was definitely fun. I didn't know what to expect at first, but when I was able to do the walkthrough, I did the walkthrough like 3-4 times to get the hang of it, but it was fun. Probably the momentum of the passing. You run it so fast, and if you was to mess up one pass, it knocks into your time. So I think just the lock in on the passing. No, I mean, we're all supportive of each other. It was all fun. We're just all here for good vibes. Yeah, it was fun. I don't know yet. If I win the 3-point contest and I, you know, times it times 2, that. But, you know, now that I think about it, I had to take me a good little nap. I'm going to go on a little golfing spree, shopping spree. It's definitely fun. I mean, being here, it's like a breath of fresh air. I mean, like, you still locked in, but it's more like a fun atmosphere. Like, wins and losses don't count. Like, we're all here to have fun. So it's just a breath of fresh air. Oh, for sure. When first announcing that I was going to play, and I had no clue it was $55K on the line. But then when I learned it was $55K on the line, you know, whenever money involved, everything gets serious. So, yeah, I really had to lock in.
AllishaGray, again, congratulations to her on winning the WNBA Starry 3-point contest as well as the WNBA Kia Skills Challenge. What an eventful night for Allisha, and definitely got eyes and ears and also hearts and attention definitely paid to her on that fateful and that eventful and talented Friday night out in the desert in Phoenix. So let's now move ahead to the All-Star Game Saturday night, the most anticipated All-Star Game ever in WNBA history. I mean, this was a list of stars upon stars on top of stars indeed for both Team WNBA as well as Team USA. Again, this was a year. This year is different because it's an Olympic year. So the last Olympics that had passed, they had the format of Team USA versus Team WNBA, and they're doing it again this year. So again, this was stars on top of stars in this game. Here's some of the highlights from the contest.
CaitlinClark guarding Chelsea Gray. Here's Taurasi. You bet! Ogumike knocks down the elbow jumper. Gets it back from Ogumike. Dumps it to her. Extra feed. Bonner cuts in for 2. Bonner says, all right, I'll take it. Why not? Here's Wilson. What a move. The hezzy and the hit for AjaWilson. Here's Ogumike. Nneka moving swiftly. How good does NnekaOguwumike look? Hamby missed it. And Gray did not on the follow. 7 seconds left in the quarter. Jones unable to hook it in. Reese the old board. Reese the putback. First points of her all-star career in AngelReese. Nice pass from Clark. Yeah, right to her teammate Boston, who lays it in. Canny at the 3. Boston the rebound, getting her first minutes. Clark the flick ahead. Oh, what a dime from Clark. And Jones lays it in. A gorgeous pass from CaitlinClark. Thomas, nice touch pass. And Copper the finish. Jones, great seal. And the finish on the delivery from Boston. Here's Taurasi, banging inside with Clark, the finish and the foul. Knocked away by Clark. Here's Clark ahead of the field. CaitlinClark has her first all-star point. Clark whips it in. Jones bodies and finishes. Stewart. Oh, yeah.
Tough shot by Stewart, but that was really good.
Boston has it taken away by AjaWilson. Those two South Carolina stars at different times, very close. As Stewart Euros in for 2, just prepping for Paris. 5 seconds left. Clark sees the zone, fires away, in and out on a bomb. Jones flips it in at the horn. Brianna Jones beats the buzzer. Clark loses the handle momentarily. Mitchell rims in on a 3. Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell hops to the cup and finishes. USA Women's National Team could hold for a final shot. Griner, though, going to lay it in off the delivery from Thomas. Mitchell dances to the corner. 1 second left. Mitchell connects at the horn as Young reverses. Taurasi able to answer. Taurasi on a bomb. Ogumike off the delivery from Gray. Here's Stewart in the corner. She got it. Here's Stewart all the way in. Cups it home. BreannaStewart. Clark behind the Reese screen. A bomb is off. Good contest from Wilson. Down court feed. Wilson catches and finishes. Here's Ionescu. She got it. Stewart fires up a 3. Can't hit. Another rebound for Reese. And that will do it. What a show here in Phoenix as Team WNBA wins it. 117-109.
All right, that audio courtesy of the WNBA, the Walt Disney Company, and ABC. So I mentioned the 2 ladies earlier, CaitlinClark, AngelReese, both on Team WNBA. And people were wondering, would they ever be on the court at the same time? Well, they were. Here's a highlight.
Here's Clark thinking about a bomb, the hesitation, the take, the lead. Reese the lay. Clark to Reese. What you've been waiting for.
All right, that audio courtesy of the Walt Disney Company and the WNBA and ABC. So Caitlin the Angel, right? I think we're going to be hearing that for quite a long time, especially with the next Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028. That is a strong possibility we could hear Clark to Reese, Caitlin the Angel. That sounds really good, and it was nice to see those two on the court and with that nice pass with Caitlin connected with Angel for the 2 points. And let's stay with Angel for a moment. So Angel made history, becoming the first rookie to drop a double-double in a WNBA All-Star game. She had 12 points and 11 rebounds. Angel was doing her thing. Here she is in action.
Partially blocked by AngelReese. Reese running the floor. Oh, what a pass! Jonquel Jones on the money to Reese. Big to big. Now the steal from Mitchell. Here comes Gray. Reese on the move. Reese lays it in. AngelReese.
All right, that audio courtesy of the WNBA, the Walt Disney Company, and ABC. So again, AngelReese becoming the first rookie to get a double-double in the WNBA All-Star Game. She had 12 points and 11 rebounds. If Friday night belonged to AllishaGray, Saturday night belonged to ArikeOgunbowale from the Dallas Wings. She broke a record for the most points in the WNBA All-Star Game with 34 points. She was just beyond electric. Here's Arike in action.
Ogunbowale, what a finish. Clark loses the handle momentarily. Here's Ogunbowale. She got it on a three, and Ogunbowale connects on a step-back three. Ogunbowale again. Ogunbowale, you bet! It's a heater worthy of Phoenix in July. Ogunbowale can't flip it in. Ogunbowale, an open three is good. One leg, oh my! A scintillating show. Ogunbowale, you bet!
All right, so that audio is courtesy of the WNBA, the Walt Disney Company, and ABC. So again, ArikeOgunbowale making history, breaking the record for the most points in a WNBA All-Star Game. She had 34 points, and she was just sensational. And just like in 2021, she was the All-Star Game MVP. She does it again in 2024. Here's Arike at the end of the game.
Yeah, coach told me to take a deep breath and go out there and play my game, and that's what I did. Yeah, I mean, it's easy when you're playing with great players like this. We just wanted to get them ready for Paris, and we just had fun and played our game. Yeah, it gives a little bit of confidence, but just glory to God, you know, being here, being blessed, playing the game I love, and playing in front of all these fans. I mean, y'all see it. I just play basketball.
All right, that audio courtesy of the WNBA, the Walt Disney Company, and ABC. So ArikeOgunbowale, again, congratulations to her scoring 34 points and becoming the All-Star Game MVP for the second time in her career. So at the end of the game, we have some more post-game audio for you. NnekaOguwumike. We talked about Arike not being on the team as well as Caitlin and Angel as far as Team USA is concerned. How about NnekaOguwumike? She really set the tone, especially in the first half. Here's Nneka at the end of the game, just talking about CaitlinClark and AngelReese's presence in this year's All-Star Game.
I mean, I thought that they were professional, like as anyone at this level would be. I'm always impressed by the two of them. I think it was also really fun to see them playing together tonight. They had some synergy and the maturity that they have going in, not even just being here at All-Star, but managing, all of the influx that they get as the two rookies that are really getting a lot of attention. And then of course, like being celebrated too. I would like to think that they had fun today, and I think that's the main goal, especially for first time All-Stars, is to enjoy the experience. And they helped us win too.
All right, that audio courtesy of the WNBA. And speaking of one of the rookies that was mentioned, CaitlinClark. Listen, Caitlin, from a points perspective, didn't do much. But from an assist standpoint, just like Angel made history, Caitlin made his history as well, breaking a rookie record for having the most assists by a rookie in a WNBA All-Star Game. Now, she had an opportunity to break Sue Bird's assist record in this year's game, but she didn't want to do. She decided not to do so, in all respect to Sue. But here's Caitlin at the end of the game explaining why she didn't break Sue's assist record. Also, she talks about her first All-Star experience, watching WNBA All-Star games in the past, also beating Team USA, and she also talks about the growth of the WNBA.
That's Sue's record. Can't take that from her. That's my homie. So, but no, I mean, we were just playing hard. I don't know, like there was a couple times, especially with AB, like you can still just see our connection, even though we're not with the whole Fever team, like we still have that connection. And then Jonquel ran well in transition. So it was just fun. Like I was just trying to push the pace, get the ball out, even on their made baskets and go. Like that's just what I do. Like I try to push the pace for everybody. And I think at times that led to really good offense for us. But yeah, that's all Sue. So let her have that. I think honestly, just the game the most, like I had a lot of fun just playing and enjoying the atmosphere, like talking with the people courtside. Like I was just trying to smile and have fun. Like it doesn't really matter, like win or loss, points scored, whatever it is. Like that's not what this is about. Like it's just, kind of, a reward for your hard work. Obviously it was definitely more competitive probably this year than it is in other years. And I thought we still competed, but we still had a lot of fun. And I think that's another main reason we won is because we just smiled and just played free. Oh gosh, that's tough. Honestly, like I grew up watching a lot. Like I tried to watch the WNBA as much as I could. Maya Moore was my favorite player growing up. I can't remember like specifically like one All-Star game. That's tough for me. But I always watch. Like I was a huge supporter. No, they're really good. They have plenty of talent on that team. It was the same, I think 4 years prior. I'm pretty sure the team WNBA beat Team USA. They were perfectly fine in the Olympics. I think if anything, it shows how good this league is. Like it shows how much talent is in this league and how you have to show up and prepare every single night because there's a lot of players that aren't even here on All-Star Weekend that can, be here and be in these moments too. It just shows the amount of talent that we have. And there's even so much more talent that's not even in our league because there's only 12 teams. There's less than 144 spots. So, they could have picked any combination of 12 players and probably been really, really successful. So, I think for myself, from my standpoint is like, this is a great opportunity to, help prepare them for Paris. And, I'm going to be supporting them and cheering them on. Like, I love the Olympics. I've loved the Olympics ever since I was a young kid and they're going to be just fine. They're going to win gold and dominate. So I'm not worried. Yeah, it's awesome. And to be a part of this, like to see it grow, it's super special. I'm happy for the players that have been in this league for a really long time to have moments like these and opportunities like these because they've deserved it. It's been a long time coming, but honestly, like I feel like we're just scratching the surface. Like you said, the 2 expansion teams that already announced and are, going to be coming over the course of the next 2 years, like that's only going to help the league grow. It's going to get more eyeballs, get us into new markets, the new media rights deal, that's going to help. So it's just, day by day, year by year, like it's only going to continue to get better and it's going to give people an opportunity to see how good women's basketball is, from a professional level, but everybody knows how good the talent is in the college level. And you want to continue to get more of those players into this league because there's so many fans at the college level and continue to bring those fans here. So, for myself, I'm just very thankful and grateful. And, if I can help in any way, that's all I'm trying to do is continue to bring people to want to support this game.
All right, that audio courtesy of the WNBA. So we move from Team WNBA now to Team USA. BreannaStewart and AjaWilson, they played well in this year's All-Star game, but they look to put this behind them and go onward and upward to try to win the Olympic gold medal. Here they are at the end of the game talking about the distractions during All-Star weekend leading to Team USA's loss.
I've been saying it since I got here, and Phoenix has been a great host, but the other things like the commitments that you have and things that are going on during All-Star weekend, it's hard to balance, also what we're doing and getting ready for Olympics. And now we can solely focus on Team USA. And I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to kind of just continue to grow with this team. We're in like the shifting of the guards, if you will, just like making sure that this is our team, and we don't let anything kind of get past us.
Yeah, my favorite part just had to be the game. I feel like Stewie was saying, you getting pulled so many different ways throughout this weekend. It sometimes gets exhausting, but when you get to the game and you're there and you see the fans and it's like this is what we've all been waiting for. It's a big moment. Obviously, we would love to get the win, but just to have fans come out, this might be their first time or their only time being able to see us play, and you get to see all the greats play at once. That's a blessing in itself. So my favorite part is just the game, and I'm so glad that it's over. As crazy as that sounds, just kind of think about the main thing, keep the main thing the main thing.
All right, that audio courtesy of the WNBA. So the final score for the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game, Team WNBA 117, Team USA 109. So for Team WNBA, this year's All-Star Game MVP, ArikeOgunbowale finished with 34 points. NnekaOguwumike finished with 14 points. Kelsey Mitchell finished with 13 points. AllishaGray finished with 16 points. AngelReese had a double-double with 12 points and 11 rebounds. CaitlinClark only had 4 points, but she had 10 assists. Jonquel Jones finished with 6 points. Dewana Bonner finished with 5 points. Kayla McBride finished with 3 points. Brianna Jones finished with 6 points. And Aaliyah Boston finished with 4 points. On the losing end for Team USA, BreannaStewart had a double-double with 31 points and 10 rebounds. AjaWilson finished with 22 points. Diana Taurasi finished with 14 points. Brittany Griner finished with 10 points. Chelsea Gray had 5 points. Kelsey Plum finished with 9 points. Sabrina Ionescu finished with 5 points. Kalia Copper finished with 7 points. Alyssa Thomas finished with 4 points. And Jackie Young only had 2 points. So again, the final score in this year's WNBA All-Star Game, Team WNBA 117, USA Basketball 109. All right, so since we're on Olympic break, we have our Player of the Week award winners, as well as our Player of the Month award winners, as well as our Rookie of the Month and Coach of the Month. So let's start off with the Player of the Week award winners. Let's start off with the week of July the 18th. So for the Eastern Conference, for the third time this year, the Eastern Conference Player of the Week award winner is Sabrina Ionescu from the New York Liberty. And for the Western Conference, for the fourth time this year, AjaWilson from the Las Vegas Aces. So again, congratulations to our Player of the Week award winners for the week of July the 18th. For the Eastern Conference, Sabrina Ionescu from the New York Liberty. And for the Western Conference, AjaWilson from the Las Vegas Aces. Let's move over now to our Player of the Month award winners. For the month of July, for the second time this year, the Eastern Conference Player of the Month is Sabrina Ionescu from the New York Liberty. And for the Western Conference, for the third time this year, AjaWilson from the Las Vegas Aces. Again, congratulations to our Player of the Month award winners. For the month of July in the Eastern Conference, Sabrina Ionescu from the New York Liberty. And for the Western Conference, AjaWilson from the Las Vegas Aces. Congratulations to our Rookie of the Month award winner for the month of July. For the second time this year, CaitlinClark representing the Indiana Fever. So again, congratulations to our Rookie of the Month award winner for the month of July representing the Indiana Fever, CaitlinClark. And our Coach of the Month award winner for the month of July belongs to Sandy Brondello from the New York Liberty. So again, congratulations to our Coach of the Month award winner for the month of July, Sandy Brondello from the New York Liberty. So now we've taken care of our player award winners. And now let's move along now, as well as our Coach award winners. Now let's move over now to our current league leaders in the W. So up into this first half of the year, and then as we're in the Olympic break, let's give you the league leaders. Let's start off with points per game. What a first half of the year she has had. AjaWilson from the Las Vegas Aces. She is currently the leading scorer in the WNBA. She's averaging 27 points per game. Coming in at number 2, Kalia Copper from the Phoenix Mercury. Coming in third, ArikeOgunbowale from the Dallas Wings. Coming in fourth, Jewel Lloyd from the Seattle Storm. And in fifth, Napheesa Collier from the Minnesota Lynx. Next category is going to be rebounds per game. Who else, right? At number 1, AjaWilson. She's averaging 12 rebounds per game. Coming in at number 2, AngelReese from the Chicago Sky. Coming in third, Napheesa Collier. Coming in fourth, De'Erica Hamby from the Los Angeles Sparks. Coming in fifth, Alyssa Thomas from the Connecticut Sun. Next category is going to be assists per game. Coming in at number 1, representing the Indiana Fever, CaitlinClark. She's averaging 8 assists per game. Coming in at number 2, Alyssa Thomas. Coming in third from the Phoenix Mercury, Natasha Cloud. Coming in fourth, Skylar Diggins-Smith from the Seattle Storm. And in fifth, Sabrina Ionescu from the New York Liberty. Next category is going to be steals per game. At number 1 from the Dallas Wings, ArikeOgunbowale. Coming in at number 2, Napheesa Collier. Coming in at number 3, BreannaStewart from the New York Liberty. Coming in fourth, NnekaOguwumike from the Seattle Storm. And in fifth, AjaWilson. Next category is going to be blocks per game. She's leading the W in points and in rebounds, and she's also leading in blocks. AjaWilson, she's averaging close to 3 blocks per game. Coming in at number 2 from the Seattle Storm, Ezi Magbogor. Coming in third, Cameron Brink from the Los Angeles Sparks. In fourth, Elena Smith from the Minnesota Lynx. And in fifth, Aaliyah Boston from the Indiana Fever. Next category is going to be field goal percentage. Coming in at number 1 from the Dallas Wings, Tiara McCowan. She's shooting 56% from the field. Coming in at number 2, Brittany Griner from the Phoenix Mercury. She's shooting 55% from the field. Coming in third, Jonquel Jones from the New York Liberty. In fourth, Aaliyah Boston from the Indiana Fever. And in fifth, from the Connecticut Sun, Brianna Jones. Next category is going to be free throw percentage. Coming in at number 1 from the Chicago Sky, Dana Evans. She's shooting 97% from the free throw line. Coming in at number 2, Kayla McBride from the Minnesota Lynx. Coming in third, Sabrina Ionescu from the New York Liberty. In fourth, ArikeOgunbowale. And in fifth, Ezi Magbogor. Next category is going to be 3-point percentage. Coming in at number 1 from the Dallas Wings, Odyssey Sims. She's shooting 50% from 3-point range. Coming in at number 2, Stephanie Dolson from the Washington Mystics. She's shooting 48% from 3-point range. Coming in at number 3, Cecilia Zandalicini from the Minnesota Lynx. She's shooting 46% from 3-point range. In fourth, Elena Smith, her teammate from the Minnesota Lynx. And in fifth, her other teammate from the Lynx, Bridget Carlton. And the last category that we have is minutes played. Coming in at number 1 from the Dallas Wings, ArikeOgunbowale. She's averaging 38 and a half minutes per game. Coming in at number 2 from the Los Angeles Sparks, De'Arica Hamby. Coming in third, CaitlinClark. Coming in fourth from the Las Vegas Aces, Kelsey Plum. And in fifth, from the Minnesota Lynx, Napheesa Collier. And that takes care of your league leaders up all the way to the first half of the regular season as we are set for the Olympic break. All right, now it's time to take a look at the standings up until this point in the season. Currently in first place are the New York Liberty with a record of 21-4. Coming in second place are the Connecticut Sun with a record of 18-6. In third place are the Minnesota Lynx with a record of 17-8. In fourth, the Seattle Storm. They have a record of 17-8. Coming in fifth place are the Las Vegas Aces with a record of 16-8. In sixth place are the Phoenix Mercury with a record of 13-12. In seventh place are the Indiana Fever with a record of 11-15. Coming in eighth place are the Chicago Sky with a record of 10-14. Coming in ninth are the Atlanta Dream with a record of 7-17. Coming in 10th place are the Los Angeles Sparks with a record of 6-18. Followed in 11th by the Washington Mystics with a record of 6-19. And in last place are the Dallas Wings with a record of 6-19. And those are your standings for the first half of the season as we are well into the Olympic break. So as far as I mentioned earlier, the WNBA is currently on an Olympic break, so there will be no more regular season games until August the 15th. Thank you so much again for joining me for another exciting edition of the program. And until next time, everybody, I'm Ed Robinson saying so long and you take care. We'll leave you with highlights from this year's All-Star Game, courtesy of the WNBA, the Walt Disney Company, and ABC. Until next time, everybody, so long and you take care.
CaitlinClark guarding Chelsea Gray. Here's Taurasi. You bet! Ogwumike knocks down the elbow jumper. Gets it back from Ogwumike. Dumps it to her. Extra feed. Bonner cuts in for two. Bonner says, all right, I'll take it. Why not? Here's Wilson. What a move. The hezzy and the hit for AjaWilson. Here's Ogumike. Nneka moving swiftly. How good does NnekaOguwumike look? Hamby missed it. And Gray did not on the follow. 7 seconds left in the quarter. Jones unable to hook it in. Reese the O-board. Reese the putback. First points of her All-Star career in AngelReese. Nice pass from Clark. Yeah, right to her teammate Boston, who lays it in. Canny at the three. Boston the rebound, getting her first minutes. Clark the flick ahead. Oh, what a dime from Clark. And Jones lays it in. A gorgeous pass from CaitlinClark. Thomas, nice touch pass. And Copper the finish. Jones, great seal. And the finish on the delivery from Boston. Here's Taurasi, banging inside with Clark, the finish and the foul. Knocked away by Clark. Here's Clark ahead of the field. CaitlinClark has her first All-Star point. Clark whips it in. Jones bodies and finishes. Stewart. Oh, yeah.
Tough shot by Stewart, but that was really good.
Boston has it taken away by AjaWilson. Those two South Carolina stars at different times, very close. As Stewart Euros in for two, just prepping for Paris. 5 seconds left. Clark sees the zone, fires away, in and out on a bomb. Jones flips it in at the horn. Brianna Jones beats the buzzer. Clark loses the handle momentarily. Mitchell rims in on a three. Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell hops to the cup and finishes. USA women's national team could hold for a final shot. Griner, though, going to lay it in off the delivery from Thomas. Mitchell dances to the corner. 1 second left. Mitchell connects at the horn as Young reverses. Taurasi able to answer. Taurasi on a bomb. Ogumike off the delivery from Gray. Here's Stewart in the corner. She got it. Here's Stewart all the way in. Cups it home. BreannaStewart. Clark behind the Reese screen. A bomb is off. Good contest from Wilson. Down court feed. Wilson catches and finishes. Here's Ionescu. She got it. Stewart fires up a three. Can't hit. Another rebound for Reese. And that will do it. What a show here in Phoenix as Team WNBA wins it 117-109.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Remember to click like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.